Olá, boa noite, tudo bem com vocês? Sejam bem-vindos a mais uma live do Teatrando. Espero aí que vocês curtam bastante. Explicar um pouquinho para vocês da onde que veio o tema de hoje, né? A gente vai sair um pouquinho das últimas conversas que nós tivemos, né? Mas no aspecto técnico de teatro, vamos falar um pouquinho de aspectos culturais e educacionais do teatro. Eu tenho uma pesquisa pessoal que eu tento fazer e eu tento desenvolver para buscar um pouco de informação a respeito de como que funcionam as escolas no mundo inteiro, como que funciona o ensino de teatro em outros países do mundo. Tenho feito isso há um tempo, e a gente tem a oportunidade hoje de entrevistar a Emily, que é uma estudante hoje universitária, mas que no seu ensino médio, no seu high school, fez todo o trabalho de extracurricular dela muito focado no teatro. Então, vai ser muito interessante a gente ver como que foi essa experiência, né? E como que é a diferença do tratamento de teatro nos Estados Unidos com o Brasil, não só estruturalmente, mas em termos de concepção e de abordagem. E vamos ver o que vocês acham. A gente está aqui abrindo um debate, né? Vai ser um trabalho muito legal, e eu vou já avisar vocês que é fundamental, aliás, que essa live vai ser falada em inglês. E o meu inglês ele não é um inglês 100%. Tá? Então, o importante aqui vai ser se comunicar. Espero que vocês curtam, mesmo tendo aí alguns entraves na língua, alguns erros de pronúncia, de conjugação de verbo, porque o importante aqui vai ser a nossa comunicação. Tá bom? Foi feito com muito carinho essa pesquisa, e bom espetáculo para todo mundo. Okay, now we can appear. Just talk in English. Roberta, Emily. Hi.
Hello.
Today we have Roberta helping me in this live. Roberta is a teacher from Teatrando, and also she's an English teacher, so I'm in good hands. And
well, hopefully.
And let's introduce Emily. I'm very glad to have you here.
I'm excited to be here.
Emily, you can, first of all, talk about yourself for our audience, about what you do in the high school in a general view, and your college now.
So in high school, I was always a part of the musicals from freshman to senior year. Senior year, I actually wasn't on stage. I was in the pit orchestra, so I played in the orchestra and accompanied the actors on stage. And throughout theater, I've made sets, done costumes, hair, makeup, sound, lighting. So I know a lot of different aspects of theater throughout my years and my experience. I currently am a second-year student at Susquehanna University for music education, and I also am involved in the theater department there, and I work in the costume department, so I make all the costumes for all the productions at my college.
Wow. And you are in the second year in the college.
Yes.
Okay. And after that, for in the next part of our life, we're going to talk about these different possibilities in college, the minor and the major. I want you to speak and to explain for our audience here from Brazil, because our system is quite different. And let's try to explain the educational structure for our audience. When we analyze the levels, it's quite the same in Brazil. We have the kindergarten, that's until 5 years old, the elementary, that is from the first to the fifth grade. This is right?
Yes.
Yes. The middle school or junior school, you have just 3 grades.
Well, it's actually funny because just recently our school district included 5th grade into the middle school just a few years ago. So now elementary school is 1st through 4th grade and middle school is through 8th, which is very, very new. So when I was in middle school, there wasn't 5th grade. So it's very new.
It's different.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
this is the new transformation in the junior and high school. And high school, you have 4 years.
Yes.
Yes, 9 to 12 grade.
Yes.
Wow. So this is the difference, Roberta, in Brazil, because we have just 3 years in high school.
And in fact, because we have a change as well during the years, like we have the 9th grade nowadays. We didn't have, like in my time, we didn't have the 9th grade. It kind of like similar, but even though it is different, you have more, like a more period of time, you are American.
And then when you go to the college, you have to choose about associate degree and the bachelor degree.
For undergraduate, yes. So typically it's either a 2-year college would be more like a community college. So there aren't necessarily like majors, but you can get a lot of like general education in like a 2-year college. And then, or you could go to a 4-year college to get your bachelor's degree. And then after that, you have the option to do even more schooling depending on your profession that you want to go into.
Okay. And I think this is a good time to explain the major and the minor. Why this is a system that we don't have in Brazil. The things we have a big test, and you are going to choose your course if you want to go to biology or be a doctor or be an engineer or be an actor. You go to the different college, but different courses, and you need to know what you want in this big test. I think this is this is different. In the US, you have some time to think about it. That is the way.
Yeah. So You can either go into college with a declared major, so you have one path of classes that you're going to do all the way through, and you kind of have like an end goal that you want to get to, and like a career plan that like you've been thinking about, and you know what you want to do. But if you're undecided, which is totally a good option if you don't know what you want to do, you can just take general courses to try and figure out what you want to do, but you don't have to have a declared major right away, which is really good for people who don't have like a clear vision and path of what they want to do for the rest of their lives, because like we're young people, and you know, because it's hard. So and even if you go into college with a declared major, you are allowed to change the major within your schooling. So, yeah, one of my friends actually just changed his major from trumpet performance to music education. So he has to switch his classes to get more of an education route than a performance route. So that is an option. You are allowed to change your mind.
And so, Roberta, do you already listen about the credit system in US? The credit systems is something that is very common, because you need to, if you want to change, you need to analyze what kind of subject you have and see if it's okay to go to another course. That's right?
Pretty much, yeah. Unless it's with a completely different like subject. So if you're going from music to science, you might need to catch up on your science courses, which might end up leading you to have to take maybe another year or another half year to just be able to get in all the courses that you need for that specific major. But if it's within the same kind of subject, it's usually easy to move around.
Perfect. And let's talk about your school, your high school, Neshaminy. This is the way? Mm-hmm. Wow. I training all the week to say the name of school right. Neshaminy.
People around here don't say it right. Like, yes, a lot of people at some band competitions would be like Neshaminy, which were like, that's not right. So yeah, you did good. That was right.
Thank you, Marisa. Marisa is my English teacher, is a friend of Emily, and she training me to say this right.
Yeah. Is that a meaning in this name?
I think it was an Indian tribe from the area, I believe. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know if I read about the Redskins.
Yeah.
It's from Philadelphia, yes.
Yeah, that is our mascot right now. We're trying to get them to change it because it is politically incorrect and kind of offensive. So there's a lot going on with that. That is currently still our name, but we're trying to change that.
Okay.
It is as offense as a cultural appropriation or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's show some pictures about Neshaminy.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah. That's it.
That's your school.
That's my school.
That's nice.
Yeah. It's quite
guys,
big.
This is the small school of Emily. And can you believe this is a public school? Yes, it's a public school.
Well, yeah, Brazilians would be like, what?
Yeah, in my graduating class, there were about 630 kids. And so, so that's just in my grade. So in this school, there's about 600 kids in every grade. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
And even the private schools don't have this structure here in Brazil. So few schools. This is the football file.
Yeah, I'm probably in the band over there in the stands somewhere.
And this is the how big it is. There is professional games here.
No, just high school.
No? Just high school, okay.
Just high school, yeah.
This is the.
Oh, gym night.
Can we find you?
Oh goodness, what year is this? Okay, this was last year. So I am probably not, this is not my team color, so I'm probably in a different room getting ready to do my dance. So I'm not in this picture, but this is my grade, yeah.
Oh, okay. Very big. This is the theater.
This is actually one of the middle schools. This is, I'm not sure why this is in that one, but this is one of our bigger middle school theaters.
Okay.
So, yeah, but yeah, this is the high school.
And we can see here the next picture, a space to the orchestra, the pit.
Yes, I'm in this picture somewhere.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, I'm one of the nuns.
Oh,
that's why it's difficult to see.
Yeah.
The same clothes, yeah.
Wow. So very nice structure. This is quite impressive. I know that even for America, this is a huge school.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Some of the surrounding areas, though, surrounding districts are about the same size, if not bigger. So since we are right outside of Philadelphia, we do have a big population. So the schools are quite large around us.
Okay. We forgot to tell that Emily is from Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, this is important. And explain for us your high school with more details. The subjects that you have and the discredited functions that works in America and the extracurriculars.
Okay, so we are required to take a language, not required to take a language, but languages are offered, and it's very good to take a language to get into colleges because a lot of colleges do require that. But we have to take English and we have to take history or social studies for 4 years, all 4 years, and take science and a math course at least 3 years. So I personally took math all 4 years, but only took science for 3 years. So I could take an extra class, like an extracurricular. So in our school, we have 8 periods. So that's 8 classes a day. And one of those can consist of a lunch period, but lunch is not required. So in my experience, I never took a lunch period. So I ate in a different class because I wanted to take so many classes that I didn't have time for a lunch.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
You want more.
Yeah. So
But
yes.
how you can afford this? So you eat when you eat?
A different class.
How do you manage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I usually ate in one of the extracurricular classes. So they usually just give us like 10 minutes at the beginning of class where we can either write like notes and eat at the same time in class, or yeah. So a lot of so for my band class, for example, I used to eat in there a lot, and the director would give us time to eat before because he did know that a lot of the students are taking his class instead of a lunch. So he gave us the opportunity to eat. um, but like I chose that myself. So I made the decision not to take a lunch because I wanted to take so many classes. My senior year, I took English, social studies, and math. I didn't take a science class because I wanted to take an art class. So only 3 of my 8 periods were like academic subjects. And we also had to take a gym class, so a physical education. So that was every other day and not every day. So on the opposite days of PE, we either had a lunch or a study hall, or some of the science classes required a lab. So on the opposite days of PE, you would either have maybe 2 days of lunch and then a lab.
So you have the regular subjects, but you can choose what you are going to be in a more deep in knowledge, more deep knowledge. You can. Sorry.
No, yeah. Basically, it's just to make clear, maybe for the audience, like it's basically you have mandatory classes and then you have elective classes that you can choose.
Yes.
Yeah, what you take, what classes do you take?
Yeah. In my school, we were required to take 2 extra electives.
Okay.
Or it was either 1 or 2. I don't remember. I always took too many. So I don't remember what the minimum requirement was, but
you take the maximum.
Yes, pretty much. But you are required to take an elective, so you can't have a study hall and a lunch and just another free period. You need to have some sort of elective in there.
So this is a flexible system that you put some responsible in the student hand.
Yeah.
So and you, as you say, you are quite young to make some decisions. So this is very interesting point. Okay. So during your life in high school, what is important to you access a good college? Because this is something very different from Brazilian too. What I know is everything's matter in this education system. The regular subjects and the extracurricular, they are equal in this analysis.
Yeah, kind of. So something that my band director always said at orientation for people who are like thinking about taking electives or thinking about taking a lunch, and one thing that he always said was, when colleges are looking at your class load, would they be more likely to take somebody who took an extra class or somebody who took a lunch? So that, I feel like, puts in perspective how important taking these classes are for other colleges to see how involved you are in school and just what other things you're able to do, because getting into college is competitive. It is. So you want to showcase how much you are capable of, I guess. And how much you have experience with or have done. So yeah, I would say taking extra electives or just doing more extracurricular things shows that you're more versatile, and that's what colleges want to see.
And you have three situations to be analyzed to a college. Your grades in the regular subjects. This is one. Your participation in extracurricular.
Yeah.
And then you have a big test. AC.
There's the SATs and the ACTs.
Okay. This is. I think this is quite similar. This test is quite similar in comparison with what we have in Brazil. We have a test that we call vestibular. So I think this is in the same way. But in Brazil, we just have the two tests, the ENEM and vestibular. That this is going to put you or not inside the college.
Wow.
And you don't have chance. If in the day of the test you are not good,
not good enough.
Yeah, yes.
Good enough.
Don't matter if you have good grades in your high school, you are out.
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, that's very different. Because actually a lot of schools now, like colleges, are choosing to become test optional. So for some schools, it's not mandatory to even send in those scores, because they know that that's not necessarily an accurate representation of how good of a student you are. Because me personally, I'm not a good tester. So like my grades, I put in hard work for my grades, but when it comes to a test, I don't necessarily test well, but that doesn't really say what kind of student I am. So a lot of colleges are becoming test optional. So you have the option to send in the test scores if you want to, like say, hey, I did really well on this test, but you don't have to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, Roberto, that in Canada is a school partner from Teatrando. They started to, I think about 5 years ago, to put the specialties. That is some kind of extracurricular that the students need to choose. I can ask after that to Tarsila and Lígia. I don't know if Lígia studying this phase in Canada, but I know that Tarsila did. And so this is a kind of situation that I think the schools start to think about it.
That's good.
Yeah, private schools are trying to change a lot. Yeah, the main problem here in Brazil, Emily, is the system. The educational system is still, old style education system. So we have to change that, because it's like you said, students just can freeze, like just blank when they go through a test. So this doesn't prove anything.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something, Gil? As far as we explained, you have mandatory and elective classes, and you of course chose some of your extracurricular activity as art or acting classes.
Yeah.
But there is something that is in my mind about, like, what is the main difference between like the elective classes that you take, like acting classes as an elective, and also the extracurricular. And also you have a kind of drama club. Some schools have, I don't know if your school have some drama club.
So for us, drama was a class. So it was during the school day, but some schools do it outside of the school day. So for example, for us, we had marching band, which was an out of school activity. So you had your school day and all of your classes during that day, and then you had to come back at night to practice for marching band.
Okay.
So so there's the electives, which are in school, and the extracurriculars, which are like out of school time. or
So
after school.
It's basically for you to practice more. The extracurricular is for you to practice, put in practice. Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, the musical, for example, was extracurricular. So we didn't practice in school hours, and we used to practice after school until 5 o'clock. Right after school until 5 o'clock would be musical time. So we didn't practice during the day, and then after the classes were musical rehearsals.
Okay.
And so we can realize that there is a different point that the education system in Brazil try to form good professionals, just good professionals. And I think that the American system, we don't know that how the subjects are given, but only analyze the system, we can say that the American is try to form citizens, because it's the view is more large than in the Brazilian system. Because if you have just the vestibular and you don't analyze other things, this is quite short vision. This is not a good way to form a country, to form a nation. I think this is something that we need to think about it. So we are going to call Lígia for first performers here in Teatrando. We are going to close our cameras and watch her scene. Lígia, the stage is yours.
Tick, tock. Time. Time is money. Tick, tock. Time. Time is knowledge. Tick, tack. Time. Time is pressure. I'm willing. I'm thriving. But tick, tack. Just drowning.
Wow.
Very good. Well done.
Very nice, Lígia. Thank you.
Really, really good.
That was great.
Yes. And she writes this poem.
That was great.
Yes. And let's talk about Roberta started what we are going to talk about in this part. It's about the extracurricular departments. So you have how does extracurricular work in Neshaminy? You have a lot of departments, and each department you have some extracurricular, and some and more specific about arts and theater. This is something that we want to.
Yeah, we have a drama class, which is an elective in school, and we also have visual art classes. We have a few of those, and we have a good amount of music classes. So we have ensembles like choir, band, and orchestra, and we also have music theory and guitar and piano, which you can learn how to play guitar and piano. and I think we have a recording and like music technology class as well. So we have a pretty big range in our school, and we are very lucky about that because not all the schools around us have the same opportunities as us. So those are the things in school, and then out of school, starting in October, usually we have auditions for the musical, and marching band and drama productions that are in the Black Box Theater, which is our smaller theater, not our big auditorium. Drama classes take place in the Black Box Theater, and they do have multiple productions a year that are like after school rehearsed, that are straight plays, which is different than the musical. Last year we had a student written play that had to go on Zoom because
Yes.
we were online at that point. So that was interesting, because they were supposed to do it live, but then we weren't able to do that. So we're trying to adapt with that kind of thing, and I think they're doing another virtual show this year because of the circumstances. And for the past 3 years, I think, they did a smaller musical within the Black Box. So it's more of a drama department, smaller musical production. And the bigger musical that's in the auditorium is run by the choir department. So that's kind of different.
So this is the a point that I want to talk about. The drama department, it's not the same of the musical project. A musical project is something that bigger. This is different.
Yeah. So the drama department within itself usually consists of the people that take the classes. And there are classes throughout like the entire day. So enough people are taking the drama class to have 8 periods worth, or at least 7, I think. We also have an auditioned group of actors called the roadies, which do additional plays to what the drama classes and auditioned straight plays are. So there are plays that just the roadies do, which is a cool opportunity for the people that are in roadies. And the bigger musical is run by the choir director. It's a choir department thing, but the drama director and the drama teacher is part of that process as well. So it's kind of drama and choir put together, and anybody in the school is able to participate in the musical. So it's not, you don't have to be in choir or drama to be in the musical. It's really for anybody who wants to try it.
Okay. It's a big event.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how much time you spend to develop the musical project?
A lot of time. Usually the auditions are held in either the end of September or October, and then the actual rehearsal process doesn't start until, I'd say, November. I think November it starts. And so for a lot of the leads, it's every day from 2:30 to 5 o'clock after school until February. So a lot of time. But the ensemble members, so the people who aren't just the leads, because we do have relatively big ensembles because we are such a big school, they only have to be there 1 or 2 days a week after school. So, but they are still doing from 2:30 to 5 to 3 days a week from December to February.
And the musical is go to the stage for audience in February, March?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have usually 4 or 5 shows depending on the year and depending on the show. So it's usually a Wednesday to a Sunday, and we have tickets for sale that parents and friends and family can come and see the show. So it's open to the public and you just have to get a ticket. There have been some instances where it's been sold out. So that has been a really cool experience.
Yeah.
Because our auditorium is, I think, 800 people.
Wow.
I think.
Wow.
So it's big. Yeah. And so we have 4 shows of. We don't sell out every show every night, but when we do sell out, it's really cool.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah.
800 people. Wow.
Yeah.
And what kind of rehearsal you have during the musical?
We have for like the company members, we have some days where it's just music rehearsal and some days where it's like a dance rehearsal and you learn choreography. A lot of the lead days where it's just the main actors, they do a lot of blocking the scenes and working with each other to develop their personal relationships and their for their characters. A lot of it is like help with acting and singing and dancing, and it's mostly that. It depends on the day.
And do you when you say that you said that everybody can participate in the musical project, but you have some main characters.
Yeah.
This kind of function in musical needs to come from the drama department? No.
Nope.
Even
Anybody can try out for a
it's
lead.
audition, right? Yeah, you go for audition and.
Mm-hmm. And then if you make it, it doesn't matter who you are or where your department is or what classes you take. If you're good, then you'll get the lead.
Okay.
And is the competition between the students to get these main characters real as we see in the movies? Because this is a kind of thing that here in Brazil we watch a lot, mainly in sessão da tarde, né, Roberto?
No, or even Glee. Think about Glee.
Yeah,
that's it.
I wouldn't say it's as outgoing or dramatic as they make it, but there is definitely a sense of competition between people. Being in such a big school, we did have a lot of very talented people. So there was always, people were fighting to get the parts that they wanted. It wasn't necessarily like, I hate you, you're so bad, but it's like, it's internal competition, I would say.
Okay. People don't fight for, no.
No.
Okay. Just don't talk to me until the audition, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you guys you just have a big project for the musical, but you have a lot of important writers in English idiom that I don't feel that America use as in the same level to the musicals. Shakespeare, like Oscar Wilde, like Tennessee Williams. It's not a show musical. It's a kind. It's a different. It's
a straight play.
Yes.
Where
this this writer appear for the American theater?
For us personally, I haven't seen many classic plays. I don't think we've ever done a Shakespeare play, but other schools in the surrounding area, so like other school districts near us, they do take advantage of that and they do experience those, and they do put on like Shakespeare and classic plays that people have heard of that people would just come to see because they know the show. Whereas we haven't done a classic play in a while, I think. But the plays that we do choose, we choose very wisely, and it's because they like the writing or we have the right people for it, and we think that our actors could do it justice, or it's funny. We do a lot of comedies, and we do, I think, we at least try to do one dramatic play a year. But yeah, a lot of them are very like lighthearted and fun. Just people would just want to go see. So we don't really do like Shakespeare in my school district. Other surrounding school districts do.
So it's basically a preference of the school, right?
Yes.
Like musical, ultra musical, or plays.
Yeah.
Even in the drama department, they don't use these writers.
Not strictly. Like, I'm sure in class, like, they've looked over things and they've read these plays. A lot of those classic plays, like Shakespeare and Tennessee Williams, we read in our literature class. So, yeah, so my first year in high school, I read Romeo and Juliet, and we read Hamlet, and so we do read a lot of plays in English class and literature class, but not necessarily perform them in drama.
Do you think these writers are boring, or do you think this is interesting?
I wouldn't say that they're boring. I think it's just a preference of the director, because we don't really have a say in what we perform. So it's what the director wants to be seen putting on and see put on, and yeah, I think it's just a personal preference for her.
And sorry,
can I ask something? Yeah, it's just because we're talking about musical theater and straight the play kind of theater work. Do students sometimes participate in the creative process of a project, or no, this is not something that happens in American schools? Like, they create their own play, their script. Like, we usually do this in Teatrando. That's why I'm asking, curious to know if you have this.
Not in school. We don't have the opportunity to create a lot of things, but in class we do. There is a unit where you create little skits. So I guess that would be similar. And some of the skits they're only shown like in the classes. So, but throughout the year, the director and the teacher will like look at all the skits, and we do have 2 nights that are called drama nights. So the best skits from all the classes get put into these 2 nighttime productions that people can come and see.
Claudia is asking a question. She wants to know who choose the plays for you. There is some council, some department and councils. I don't know.
So our drama department is pretty much just the drama teacher is kind of the only like staff member of our drama department. So it really just consists of that class. So really it's just the drama teacher who picks everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the musical?
The choir director.
The choir, okay.
Yeah.
And we can realize that America has a huge structure, knowledge, and need to be perfect. This is something that we feel from Brazil. And you already said to us that you don't have lunchtime, even if it was your choice. But this is quite impressive to listen to hear about your experience. And do you feel some pressure because of it? Because I feel this. You need to be perfect. You need to be you. You need to be the one. Let me see. What do you think about it?
I would say that especially just like in like a performance setting even, there are high expectations and a lot of like internal feelings of wanting to be the best you can be and being perfect, but a lot of it is internal. There's not within the school system, there's not much like external pressure from teachers being like, you have to be perfect. So it's not like that. A lot of it is just like personal wanting to be the best that you can be and like for your own development and for your own future necessarily. Things can get tense at times, but it's just because everyone's intentions are good and they want the things to be the best that they can be. So I think a lot of the pressure is internal for your personal like development.
Yeah, I think maybe you asked that, Gilson, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. It's because in Brazil, you kind of have a worry like how students go through school because the main goal is to go to university.
Right.
But in America, it seems, the pressure seems bigger, specifically because of the extracurriculum. So from the beginning of your studies, you have to kind of, be good, be the best.
Yeah.
Later on, this is going to count on credits and all kind of
yeah. Especially with in high school where we offer AP credits, and some of those credits can transfer to college credits, so you don't need to take those courses in college. So a lot of people who are really going above and beyond and don't want to take those college courses and pay extra for those courses, they take college courses in high school, get the credit for those courses, and then don't have to take it in college. So that does create a lot of pressure on those students who take maybe like 4 AP classes. Marissa was one of those students. She took a lot of AP classes. So that within itself, just trying to get to that level of like just trying to be the best that you can be for the future and trying to help yourself for the future by doing things now or a lot of it is just trying to get into college so you can get a good job and study financial things and
such much material. How can I? This is an older thinking. This is something that I don't expect in a student about 14, 15 years. I think this is too young to expect this.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's different.
No, it's a lot. It's a lot to take on, definitely. And it is a lot of pressure when you're trying to take so many classes to try and help yourself out for the future. It is a lot to put on a like 14 and 15-year-old person.
Yeah.
You know that in Teatrando, it's our course, our theater course. We are very worried about the process. we take care a lot of we take care with our presentations. We go to the professional theaters to do it, make some audiovisual that we there is a take a lot of time to produce it, but the main thing for us is the process. Because of that, I want to ask a question. If any student with learning difficulties want to participate in drama classes or in the musical project, he's going to have some space, she or he is going to have some space to do it. And there is a chance to do the main characters. Do you think some dyslexia problem or some cognitive problem?
That hasn't been an issue anytime we've had to face that. They are able to participate, and we don't not allow people to do things because they have a learning disability or some sort of anything. We do allow them to participate, and we just try to play to their strengths and help them out the best that we can. And so we still get a good outcome for performance, and still make sure that they're having a good time and they're learning things and they're enjoying it.
So do you think this is a educational system more than artistic?
I would say there's a good balance between education and creativity, because like in a more educational sense, doing drama class or doing musicals, you do like learn how to speak in public, which is hard for some people and a new concept to talk in front of an audience. So I think that aspect especially, it's very educational because they're kind of stepping out of their comfort zone and trying something new that they might not have done before, and then maybe found a passion for it. So I would, for creative, I would say that there's definitely has to be some creativity in wanting to perform, because that's just like a creative passion in general. So we do have the option, like I said, to make skits. We do have a lot of improvisation games, and once a year, at the end of the year, we have improv night. So we're given different improv games, and so the drama director picks out, I think, like 12 to 15 people out of all of the drama classes to participate in this one night, and they might have not acted with each other before because they could be from different classes. So it's really interesting to see the different people acting with each other and doing improv with each other for the first time. And yeah, it's really fun and very creative in that sense.
Very nice, Emily. Let's see the second performance from Tarsila. Let's turn off our camera. Tarsila, it's your time. The show time.
Based on Lord of the Flies by William Golding.
Hey, can you hear it? What? The voices. The voices. I can't get them out of my head. It's been days we're on this island and things only get worse. Jack and the hunters only think about hunting and having fun, while Ralph is the only one who cares about the rescue. I'm tired of so many fights. Everything is so noisy. There are the voices to make it worse. The others mock how I speak, how I behave, but what have I done wrong? And the voices don't shut up. They scare me. So, the sun is setting. I came to the forest to run away from all the noise. It's so quiet, so peaceful here. Just me and this pig's head the others hunted. What was it? Did you hear it? Ah! My head! You're just a silly little boy. Just an ignorant, silly little boy. Don't you agree? Well then, you better run off and play with the others. They think you're a freak. You don't want Ralph to think you're a freak, do you? You like Ralph a lot, don't you? And Jack and Piggy. What are you doing out here all alone? Aren't you afraid of me? Yes, I'm afraid, yes. There's no one to help you. Only me. And I am the beast. No, you're just a pig's head on a stick. Just a pig's head on a stick. Fancy thinking the beast was something you could hunt and kill. Ha! You knew, didn't you? I'm part of you. Close. I'm the reason why snow go, why things are what they are. Ha! Ha! You're just a silly little boy. Ah! I can't think straight. I can't. So I ran to escape the beast. And when I found the other boys, they were doing their hunting dance with the spears, and they were yelling and yelling and yelling. So I yelled back, stop, the beast! I saw the beast, you have to believe me! No, please, stop, the beast! No, what are you doing? No, just let me go! Let me go!
And in the next morning, the sun came, lining the calm waves, which went and came, taking Simon's dead body, my dead body, into the open sea.
Wow.
Oh, that was a performance, Tarsila. Well done.
That was great.
Very nice. And the background too, the lights and the makeup, very nice. Ligia, Tarsila, come with us to this last part. Thank you.
Congratulations, girls. Well done.
Very nice. Thank you to do this in our life. So nice to see you guys here. And Emily, they want to ask some questions for you too. Please, who want to be the first?
So my question was kind of based on what we see in movies and TV shows. And it's, do you feel that there are stereotypes of people in each club?
Yeah, definitely. As much as we try and break those stereotypes, yeah, there's always going to be stereotypes with people who participate in certain clubs.
Yeah, here in Brazil we feel that too, but not in such an intensity that we see in movies, American movies and this, but here we feel that too.
Yeah, I think in Teatrando we just don't have a stereotype. We don't have the drama kids everywhere. So my question, I wanted to know, because in Teatrando we like mix different techniques of acting. So we use some Stanislavski techniques and others like theoric authors. So I wanted to know if in the drama classes you have like a specific line of acting, or if you go mixing everything.
I think we try and do a little bit of everything. There's definitely not one just like specific tactic or style that we choose to do. So I feel like a lot of it is based on the actors and like what their preferences are and what they feel comfortable doing, and their creative processes. So we don't really have like one specific style that we follow.
Yeah.
We have some influence about, I don't know how to speak this in English, but I think this is performatic theater that Beatriz, that is another teacher, bring to us mainly this year. And I think the Ligia performance is more in this way. This kind of alternative theater, there is a space inside the schools in the theater course.
Not really. So a lot of the things that we do is more reading. We have in-class plays, so we cast those plays and then we read something that's like already written, or it's mainly improv or writing your own sketches, but a lot of it isn't. I'm not really sure how to say it. It's like less of
Abstract.
Yeah. There's kind of like more of like a cookie cutter way of doing things. I'm not really sure why, but it's just kind of the way that we do things, which is really interesting. I never thought about that before. So
Yeah, it's really out of the box
yeah.
when we do here. So it's not always like that, because like I think you saw in the opening video that we also do musicals and
Yeah.
all of that. Yeah, so it's really nice because we have a mix of techniques and all of
A
that.
little bit of everything.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. We don't really have a space to be able to be more abstract, I don't think, within school.
Roberta, do you want to ask a last question?
Yes, please. Well, we know, of course, acting classes improve creativity and art/acting. But as a student, I would like to ask you, do you think acting lessons can offer other benefits for people, such as self-confidence, for example?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Because just being able to get up on stage in front of people is such a different experience than if you've just never done that before. So a lot of times we have the people who have taken drama all 4 years of high school. But a lot of times we have the odd senior who's a 12th grader who's never taken drama before and is like, I'll just try this out. And then they end up really liking it. And a lot of them are people who are more into sports than like the arts. And they end up finding out that they really like drama and they like acting. So it's really interesting, the different opportunities it offers people who aren't necessarily theater people,
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a very good point, that the musical brings to the process, that make all the community to participate. This is very interesting.
Yeah.
Emily, do you like our conversation?
Oh yeah, this is great.
Yeah. Yeah. So we are going to finish our live today. I love so much to talk to you, Emily. Thank you very much.
What's a pleasure.
You bring for us a lot of new information and new points of view, and this is very important. And if there is something good in this quarantine, is this possibility that brings to us exchange with other cultures and person. This is fascinating. And Tarsila, Alicia, thank you very much for presentation. Roberta, thank you for support me here. I hope that people understand my English in a good way. I'm a BT student, and so that's it.
The main thing is to communicate, so that's it. We
the important
thing.
Yeah.
And next week we are going to turn to the Tuesday. Então, pessoal, na semana que vem a gente volta a fazer a live na terça-feira, então dia 15, a gente vai receber a Viviana Rocha, que é uma professora do tablado, para conversar com a gente sobre jogos dramáticos. Vocês vão gostar bastante. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
A gente só desliga também.
Ela saiu?
Yes. Já saiu. E eu que não estou conseguindo desligar aqui. Aconteceu algum problema.
Queridos, audiência, obrigado por estar aqui.
Né?
Enfrentando os problemas técnicos.
Eu vou desligar o Zoom então, gente.
Tá
tchau,
bom.
pessoal. Até.
Tchau.
Obrigado. Tchau, tchau.
Tchau, tchau.